Hey guys, Stingy here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, and so tomorrow we are going to be getting the hardest event in Dokkan Battle history, according to the producer letter that we got. Well, I guess it's almost 2 weeks ago now, the producer letter, but this event is finally coming out tomorrow. You can see here, this is the screenshot that was shown in the producer letter. I guess if I mute this, we can let it play a little bit and see what other info comes up. But this is the Festival of Battles. You can get 25 Dragon Stones by clearing up to round 25 or 50. The second half of the event will be the hardest in Dokkan Battle history. And then this is the line at the bottom that I've already seen some people getting, commenting about. Only a handful of the most skilled players will be able to clear all rounds. Just a quick one before we get into the main topic of the video here. I want to give a shout out to everyone who has been checking out the channel during the anniversary. We've been having a lot of new people come through the channel, and as you can see from the YouTube analytics, almost half the people watching these videos during the anniversary are not subscribed to the channel. So do go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. We are getting so close to getting to 30,000 subscribers on the channel, which will be an awesome milestone to hit by the end of the anniversary. So if you've been enjoying the content and want all the future Dokkan content, not going to stop covering this game anytime soon, then do subscribe to the channel and yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. Now, first of all, it's funny to talk about, like, you know, obviously there are the possibilities for user error, like playing your rotation wrong, misclicking and stuff like that, but it's funny to say skilled players when so much RNG goes into Dokkan, but it's still pretty funny. Only a handful of the most skilled players will be able to clear all rounds. So this is the kind of event that we've been asking for a while. I mean, I don't know if it is exactly like that, but we would assume that, of course, each round is going to get harder and harder as we go. But people have been asking for a sort of long-lasting endurance round type thing. I've always liked the idea of one that just has, like, it's just infinite in length, and each stage just gets incrementally harder by a certain percentage. Obviously, it would get to the point where, unless you were just getting really lucky and dodging everything, like, it would get hard enough that it would be impossible, like, and even the best units in the game would take 1,000,000 damage from a normal. But obviously, you know, that would take many stages to build up to. Yeah, that is literally it. It's just that one frame. I wasn't sure if there was anything else, but yeah, so I think this will be very interesting. Now we do have, shout out to Proton, obviously, when we posted the he posted the data download info from when the data download happened a few days ago. We know about the release date, so it comes out tomorrow at 5 AM UK time. This video is going up at 6 PM UK time the day before, so this event will be live in 11 hours if you're watching this video, like, as soon as it goes up. I've changed my schedule around a little bit. I will be getting up early and I will be live to stream this event tomorrow morning when it comes out, and we'll see how we get on, see if we can be counted amongst those the most skilled players and get all those 50 stages done. You get a bunch of different titles. It doesn't actually say, is it just going to be like defeat Kid Buu? Is that just going to be what the title is? Because it shows the actual, like, banners. And then, of course, you get this one if you complete the entire thing. It would be kind of lame if the title is just, like... Oh, no, there you go. It's Champion of the Festival. Is that... Does it say what these ones are? It just says Celebration of the Festival. And I guess it's just... The title is the same, but it's different colours. So you can pick... Like, obviously, Toon would take the purple one. But if you beat the whole thing, it's Champion of the Festival with this Goku thing, which is pretty cool. And that's if you beat all the way up to stage 50. So we know that there are a bunch of missions included that we have seen on the data as well, as Dokkan Info zoom out a little bit there. So clear phase 5, 10, 15, 20 and 25. That's how you get the 25 stones they mentioned for the first half. So it's basically 5 stones for each 5 stages that you beat. You also do get the wallpaper. It's like the initial anniversary. That's the current title screen, right, with the all the characters there. You get that as a wallpaper, and all of that is for defeating the first 25 stages, which, if that image, like the trailer image from the producer letter, is to be believed, is obviously not going to be super hard, I guess, because it's the second half of the event is the hardest in Dokkan Battle history, apparently. So then we have clear stage 30. You get 20 small link skill orbs. Then you got stage 35, gets you another 20. Then phase 40 gets you 1 medium link skill orb, phase 45 gets you 2, and phase 50 gets you 3. So a bit stingy. I mean, if this is the hardest event in Dokkan history, you'd think like phase 50, we could at least be getting some large link skill orbs. One of the things that they very, very rarely ever give out for free. But even so, like 1 medium link skill orb is enough to get 1 link from like, was it like 6 to 7? Because then I think 7 to 8 you need 2. It might even just be 5 to 6. Which is kind of funny when you think if this is the hardest event in Dokkan history and all you get for beating stage 40 is 1 medium link skill orb. Like, if this event is really going to be that difficult, you should be getting, like, maybe some small and medium. And then when we get to phase 40, maybe, like, some small, medium, and a large. And by the time you get to phase 50, it should be a decent amount of small, medium, and even a few large, if this is the hardest event of all time. It's kind of funny beating phase 50, which they are essentially touting as being the hardest. Like, phase 50 should, in theory, be the hardest single phase in the entire game, if this is the hardest event ever, and each stage is getting incrementally more difficult. Then this Super Vegito in phase 50, in theory, should be the hardest single phase in the game, and for beating it, you get 3 medium link skill orbs. Obviously, you also get like the title, and you've actually completed the run. The funny thing is, as well, is I guess technically, this is only a very minor thing, but it's kind of funny to me that obviously when you beat a stage for the first time, you get 1 stone, right, just for clearing the stage. But is it going to be the case of you actually have to beat all 50 stages to actually count as having beaten the stage, right? So if you're somebody who you can beat those first 25 phases, and then the second half of the event is too hard and you die in phase like 26, 27, maybe 30 something, you don't get a stone for completing the stage because you haven't completed it, which is kind of funny. So as long as you do the first 25 stages, you get 25 stones. So there is that. And by the way, they're like touting this as like the second half of the event is the super difficult part. I imagine most people will be able to get through the first 25 phases. And we do have a list of all the bosses. Now, I did double check, shout out to Proton again for the info, but even though the event is in the data download, we won't know the stats for the bosses until the event actually goes live. So that is something that we will find out together tomorrow live on the stream when we jump into the event. But you can see the list of stages here, and we can see the skills of the enemies. So you can see for the first few phases, we've got Gogeta, Janemba, Super Vegito, Physical Vegito Blue, Super Saiyan Trunks Future. Now these are the first 5 fights, and you can see these guys can be stunned. They can be attack lowered, they can be sealed. The only thing you can't do is seal. Then when we get to stage 6 onwards, we've got the Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta together, and they can't be stunned, but they can be attack lowered. Then the bosses continue on with the ability to not be stunned until we get down to Int Super Vegito, and then we can't attack lower anymore. Keep going down here. We've got the 2 4-year Super Saiyan 4s together. So there's a couple of fights where you're fighting 2 enemies at the same time. And then we finally get down to here for the blue Gogeta from the 5th year, and then you can't defense lower. So now we can't have any status effects applied. But the one thing that stands out by looking down this list is, apart from the odd ability here, like UI Goku has a 10% chance to dodge, Vegeta gets damage reduction rate up with each attack received. These guys don't have, from what I can see so far, Kid Buu can nullify unarmed supers. No one has dodge disable. No one has rotation locking. No one has the ability to like randomly seal one of your characters on the rotation. We don't know their super attack effect details, so some of them could seal like on super or something, or stun on super, but none of them have the ability to just randomly do that stuff at the start of the turn, which is always really annoying. And then when we get down to Vegito at the bottom, so yeah, none of these guys have really crazy abilities. So the thing about this is it makes you wonder, with each of these stages getting incrementally more difficult, obviously all the numbers are going to go up. It's going to be really interesting to see how much HP these guys have, and then how much damage that they're able to do straight away from like turn 1, right? Because Gogeta is going to be the very first boss, phase 1. How much damage is his super attack going to do? Obviously, we're going to find out, like I say, live together when the event comes out. So when it comes to being ready for this event, what should you be doing? Obviously, it goes without saying, of course, being as this is like the final event of the anniversary itself. If you've pulled the anniversary units, then you're going to be in a certainly better spot, especially when you consider that the exchange Goku and Vegeta, either way round, right, Vegeta or Gogeta unit, they infinitely stack with their different forms, right? The base forms that the cards start as, so the AGL Vegeta or the Tech Goku, stack attack, and then the Tech Vegeta and the AGL Goku stack defense. If these guys are hitting like softly enough in the first like set of phases, you can keep stacking and stacking without transforming, because remember, once you transform, they can only fuse for 4 turns into Gogeta and Vegito. So realistically, you're going to want to save that until right at the end. So if these guys are, depending how hard they hit, once we're getting to sort of phase like 5, 6, 7, 8 and so on, ideally what you're going to want to do is transform or exchange into the AGL Goku or the Tech Vegeta, stack defense for as many turns as possible, and then sort of go from there, right? Now, stacking units are absolutely going to be the gods of this event, right? Characters like Tech Gohan, for example, if he can hang long enough, right? This is the thing, right? If we get to phase like 5, and Trunks is already hitting for like 2 million on his super, which I think is unlikely, by the way, then stacking events, even some of the like some older stacking units are not going to be able to stack up quickly enough. But I have a feeling that we're probably not going to get up to 2 million damage super level until a little bit later on, but you never know. Like I say, that it's the second half of the event that they're making out is the hardest event ever. So stacking units are going to be really good, especially if you've got them straight off the bat on turn 1. Units like the 7-year LRs, obviously the Tech Gods and the physical Super Saiyan 4s, bear in mind they have guard for 7 turns. So realistically, you just want to keep them untransformed for 7 turns, right? Because again, as long as the first, that covers you, if each one is on like each opposite rotation, that covers you basically all the way up to like turn 14. So if we're able to 1-turn these phases, we're getting down to like around here somewhere. After that many turns, their start of turn defense should be in the like 2 to 3 million range at that point. So even if these bosses, we get to this level and they're starting to hit for 2 to 3 million, those guys are still going to be perfectly fine in slot 1. And even when their guard runs out, if their raw defense is high enough, you can keep stacking and stacking. And then obviously once you finally decide you've got to the point where their defense is high enough, then you can go ahead and transform them into the gods or into Gogeta, and just start dealing insane damage, right? Because they'll have been stacking for so long. They'll be able to hit incredibly hard. One thing that will be very useful is when we know, like when we get all the way down to here, when we've got all the stats and we know exactly how hard these final bosses are hitting for, that will give you an idea of like how high you should be stacking everyone. Like if we get to, let's say, Vegito, and we see the details and we know that Vegito super attacks for like 4 million, then you basically know that once you've got your stackers to 4 million, you then don't need to worry about stacking with them anymore. Obviously, you can go a little bit higher because, you know, his super attack effect, he might have like raise attacks and then it's actually over 4 million. But once we know exactly what it is he's doing in terms of damage, so if it's like 4 million and he raises attack on super, then it is actually like 5 point something. So once you've got all your stackers up to 5 point something million defense, then you know you don't need to stack anymore. So you can do things like transform Tech Gohan into Ultimate Gohan, transform the Year 7s, any of these other things. Glorio obviously will be another really, really good unit with the early phases. The first, what was it, 10 phases or so, you can attack lower. So not only will that be helpful, but Glorio, of course, is an infinite stacker as well. Supports the team by being in that floating spot. After attacking, has a really high dodge chance. And as I say, so far from what we can see from the stats, none of these bosses disable dodge. So Glorio is going to be a go-to guy. I mean, Glorio's team post-anniversary is absolutely ridiculous. I made a video using his team the other day, because even though they're only on the 170 lead, his team has both of the 10th year fusions, right? Gogeta and Vegito, because they're on accelerated battle. So his team is crazy. Obviously, the AGL Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan 4 Goku is on there. He's a unit that he stacks once he transforms into Goku. So he's a character where you can use that giant form as kind of like a team protector. But really in this event, because it's going to go for so long, you probably want him to just transform as early as possible. Because then on both his 18 key and 12 key supers, he's infinitely stacking attack and defense. So by the time you get to like phase 50 against Super Vegito, it's going to be very possible that Super Saiyan 4 Goku has like millions of defense and is hitting like an absolute truck, whilst obviously also providing that defensive support and damage reduction to Giant 8 power and power beyond Super Saiyan allies, and then of course his super attack effect itself, the 18 key super, giving the 44% attack and defense buff to everybody on the next rotation. So Super Saiyan 4 Goku definitely going to be a very strong one. And yeah, he's on that Glorio team as well, right? So Glorio, I think, is going to be a super, super good leader for this team. But realistically, you just want to be looking at any units who are stacking are going to be getting insane value in this event, right? And the more you can stack, the better. The more supers you can do, the better. I'm just looking at some of the like saved teams that I have here, and just all of these characters that are infinitely stacking. The demonic power team will be kind of fun here, even though they don't stack infinitely. Characters like Int Buhan obviously going to be very, very strong. Tech Cell. You've got like Int Fat Boo infinitely stacks, and then Tech Buhan, you can get the Super Boo domain, and obviously whilst he's not infinitely stacking, he can get a massive power boost as well. Characters like the Tech Exchange Boo would go all the way up to being the Tech Super Boo. You can get some real good stuff going on with a lot of these characters here, and infinite stackers are absolutely going to be the way forward. So this one's going to be very interesting. Like I say, until we see the exact stats of these final bosses, we won't know exactly how much you need to be stacking. But yeah, you want to be looking at these characters that are infinitely raising attack and defense. Glorio is going to be a go-to. Honestly, I think that team, Glorio leads, and then like, because he leads demonic power, so you could put Tech Gohan on that team as well. So you could literally have Glorio leads and then have both the 10th anniversary LRs, Tech Gohan. I would say AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku, obviously, if you have him. And then I guess like any other stacking unit of your choice that fits on Glorio's team. And by the time you get to phase 26, which in theory is when the event starts to get really hard, like some of these units are going to have absolutely ridiculous levels of defense. Oh, also I think the, let me double check quickly. Super Type LR Accelerated Battle. I'm pretty sure the 7-year EZAs are on here as well. Where's Accelerated Battle? Yeah, it's one of the green ones. The Super Saiyan 4s are on there, but the gods are not. So there you go. You could literally have the 10-year fusions, physical AGL Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the physical LR Super Saiyan 4s, and then Tech Gohan. And that team is going to be incredibly good because Glorio's support is for everyone, not any sort of specific category or anything. So once you get to the rotations set up, and I mean, you might get lucky and have them straight from the start. Once you get the rotation set up where you've got both the Glorios floating, yeah, the amount that these guys are going to be able to stack to and how quickly they will be able to stack with that extra support, because that support goes a long way. Like when Glorio first came out and we tried out running like a demonic power team that was basically all Gohans, even Tech Gohan, right? We know that he can stack up to some crazy levels, but even on like his first turn, if he first appeared on turn 2 and we'd already had a Glorio in slot 3 on the previous turn, the guy was hitting incredibly hard and getting up to really great defense, even in turn 1. So yeah, Glorio team is probably the perfect way to go for this. But let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. Is this something that you guys are excited for? Are you nervous for this? Like, how do you think? If you're a newer player, obviously this could be certainly very interesting. Is it really just, is it some marketing, or is this really going to be like the toughest event in Dokkan Battle history? I think with the bosses not having crazy effects, like unless they are hitting insanely hard from, you know, I guess straight from phase 26 onwards, with the fact that you can stack, I feel like we're probably going to be okay if you've got some of these better options for stackers and everything. It's only if we got to like, you know, these last couple of fights here and the bosses were like rotation locking and stuff like that, that I could see this being super annoying. Because obviously imagine getting to phase 50 and then dying. I don't know how long it will take as well. Like imagine it takes like an hour to get to phase 50 and then Vegito had like rotation locking and gets guaranteed crits or something. Like that'd be wild. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. My best advice to prepare, like I say, for this event, put together the best team you can of units that stack, and all you can really do then is go from there. But like I say, we will be live tomorrow when the event comes out. We will find out 100% what all the stats and everything are at that point when it goes live. So do join me here on the channel on the stream, and we will see if we can earn our place as one of the most skilled players by beating all 50 stages on the stream when the event comes out. So let me know all your thoughts in this event. Are you looking forward to it? What team are you thinking to run? Let us know down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.